Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So yeah, I'm running a little bit early tonight. Figured why the hell not, right? Rick Ritchie in his house. Thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself today. That's a big deal, and you know it. So what else do we have going on? We've got a lot of stuff going on, actually. The market took a little bit of a dip. I say a little bit, and I know people are sitting there going, what do you mean a little bit? Oh, the sky is falling. Yeah, well, you know. Sprinkle, sprinkle, people. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I know people are looking at me kind of going, what the hell you mean sprinkle, sprinkle? For all the new people out there, you know, new to the community, sprinkle, sprinkle is my term for dropping in a little bit of extra cash during my DCA or dollar cost averaging strategy. Why? Market's down. I'm going to add a little bit more to my dollar cost averaging. Why is that? Because it kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? So you sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Take a couple extra bucks. And everybody sits there and they kind of go, but yeah, you know, what's a couple extra bucks? Whatever your definition is of a couple extra bucks. It's a relative thing. A couple extra bucks could just mean $2. Seriously, I'm not kidding with you. And then you'll watch and you'll see how it just adds up over time. You'll do it. You won't miss that $2. You won't miss that $5. You won't miss that 10, 20, 50. Every now and then you'll just keep bumping up. Continuing on a conversation that we were having this morning about investing, because you do your own research, you know your entries and exits, and you absolutely invest deliberately. Whenever you get a raise, only what I do or what I've done in my past, I only take 10%. I take a little bit of a taste, a little bit of a taste, and the rest of it, I act like I never got it. It goes straight to investing. Why is that? Why is that? Because I've been surviving without it. So if I didn't have it before, I don't need it now. And it's going to mean more to me later than it will now. And some people will say, well, what if you're not surviving? Then that's your first thing, right? And then it becomes, well, I got a little bit extra. I'm not surviving. I've been there, right? Poor kid from the Bronx. So I know what that's like. Sometimes I still take a little extra and put it into investing. Because chances are I'm going to find a way to get through this. And if I can't, I've got money that I've been putting away, right? I'd rather not touch that money. But if things are really, really, really bad, heck yeah, I will. Immediate survival is more important than future survival. But sometimes you can get away with it. You put away what you can when you can. That is what I'm saying. Okay? Bravo's like, yo, I'm heavily invested. So hopefully that means that you're investing in yourself, because that's the big deal. As you can see, the light behind me is red. It has been a red day. It has been a seriously red day. But did it go below, 100? No. I would have been dancing for joy with that one. I'd have been a buying fool with that one. But it didn't. It dipped below 109, 108. It's all right. I'm not going to cry about it. Tonight's question. Who just outpaced Robinhood's trading volume for the third straight month? MEXC, OKX, Gemini, or other? Again, who just outpaced Robinhood's trading volume for the third straight month? MEXC, OKX, or Gemini, or other? If it's other, drop it in the comments. You know what's up. Wow, 4 votes already. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. BlackRock advises institutional investors to increase hedge fund exposure by 5 percentage points above pre-2020 levels, citing potential outperformance over bonds and equities. That's an eye popper right there. That's an eye popper. With U.S. wealth managers holding about 17% compared to 4% by European pension funds. That's an eye opener. I would be paying attention to that. BlackRock giving away free advice. I'm kind of paying attention to that. No matter what level it is, maybe that level I can't afford to be in that level. Doesn't matter. I'm still paying attention. And some people might say, why? That doesn't involve you. If you're not at that level, you're not at that level. What are the pin plays? Where are hedge funds putting their money? Right? And you start to think, well, wait a minute. And then can I invest in a hedge fund? Maybe not. Maybe. Depends. But where are they putting their money? Can you put your money there? Huh. And you start to think, well, maybe there are a couple of pin plays I can get off of that. Maybe. There's no definites in the world, but maybe. There's something to ponder. What else do we have going on? Bitcoin's market share surpassed 60%, with venture capitalist Tim Draper predicting its dominance over altcoins due to network effects, likening its trajectory to Microsoft's. He's also been wrong about calling the $250,000 Bitcoin. Because sooner or later I'll be right. But he's big on it. And he's loaded, which means that he's kind of good at what he does. Just saying. I posted a couple of things in the Big Baggers chat online. You can see some of the points that he was making. Just saying. Just saying. Big moves. Vitalik Buterin says he's warning prediction markets lack the 4% yield of traditional assets, sparking debate over their viability, with supporters like Tom Jr. Sr., whatever the heck that means, arguing their potential in decentralized finance. Way to deflect. Way to deflect. Vitalik Buterin is a math genius. I'd be paying attention to what he had to say. Not to discount Mr. Tom Jr. Sr., but it's going to be hard for me to listen to you when this guy's got serious cred. Serious cred. And he's saying that he's just saying that he's warning against it. But the truth is that, hey, I'm warning you because you still have a chance to fix it. Right? But I'm not necessarily a fan of prediction markets. You are about that far away from, oh, my light's moving. That far away from, gamification. You get to a certain point with leverage and you're playing games. In my humble opinion, you're playing games. And those are just games that I can't afford to play. Straight up. Me no can do. Can't handle it. Nope. Like I said, my biggest dream is to make sure that I take care of my last name, not my first name. That's what this is all about. Last name, not first name. What else do we have going on? Let's see. Ethereum's market cap exceeded 500 billion. That was a while ago, but it's still a very big deal. It's the fastest to do so. Although Glassnode flagged a 2.5 MVRV, I forgot to spell it out, so don't ask me, go look it up. MVRV ratio. Rick Richard, you probably know that off the top of your head. Suggesting potential corrections amid technical indicators showing mixed momentum. Yeah, I hope so. This is how I make money. Volatility. That's how I make money. Compared to regular gambling, leverage is better and more fair game. You're funny. You're funny. Gambling is gambling. You think it's fair, but it's not. Gambling is gambling. And you've just said that, I can deal with a certain amount of risk, because that's what gambling is, right? Risk. There's a certain amount of risk that I'm willing to take, and there's a certain amount of risk that I'm not willing to take. But gambling's gambling. Yo, my man Hutanik, he invested in himself today. That's what's up. Another one that was up early. Both he and Rick Ritchie were up early today. Hayden Davis. You don't remember that guy, Hayden Davis? Anybody remember that guy? Let me break you off a little something about who this guy is. You remember that whole thing with Libra? The Libra coin? That whole big fiasco with Melee, whatever the heck his name is, however you pronounce it. I have no respect for the guy, so. But it was that whole big scandal. That's not over yet. And Hayden Davis was involved in that scandal too. Apparently, Buddy Boy was also involved in this Yeezy scandal, YZY. And a wallet tied to him made $12 million. Uh-huh. Just saying. It makes me stop and wonder, was he in at the beginning? Because to me, to make that kind of money, you kind of have to be in at the beginning. Because you're not going to make the multiples necessary to get there after that. So you had to be there at the beginning. Right? There's no way in the world that's not at the very least shady. I mean, wow. Come to think about it, Hayden Davis might be the new Slim Shady because everything he touches is shady. There's no doubt about it. Everything that guy does is shady. And he had some of his funds, withheld, locked down. He seems to be involved in everything these days that has shade attached to it. There are rumors that he's involved with the Cristiano Ronaldo coin, CR7. Somebody snatching the fame. Person probably has nothing to do. Cristiano Ronaldo probably has nothing to do with it. But they use the fame, spread some rah-rah, and on rumors, on fumes of rumors, it made $143 million in, what was it, an hour or something like that? My bad, wasn't even hours, 15 minutes. 143 million in 15 minutes, and it crashed. Rug pull. Just saying. I really wish I knew exactly when to invest in that one. Yeah, you have to be in on it, man. You have to be in on it. That's how that happens. You have to do some shady-ish before you launch to get buzz out. Hey, this might happen. Hey, this might happen. Hey, this might happen. Hey, I heard he's looking at this. I heard he's looking at that. You sprinkle that all around the internet. And then everybody's watching. And then, poof. That's how that works. And immediately after that, you have a whole bunch of copycat coins. As soon as that coin comes out, copycats hit. They might not make millions, but they'll make a few 100,000. Or even tens of thousands. Still, that's what they're doing. Copycat coins. Because a lot of people playing that game don't buy the right one. So they sit there and they wait for a coin that they think is going to explode. And they immediately drop another coin. Drop it. Buy it up. That bumps it up. And then you sell it directly. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Just saying. Just saying. That's how there are a lot of ways that you can dump on people. You can use bots. There's a whole bunch of ways you can do rug pulls. But that seems to be the way to do it. You get in there, you drop a coin, you buy it up. Yeah, I'm not a fan of meme coins. I'm not a fan of meme coins. We have a coin. Technically, it is a meme coin. But that's not how we're going to use it. You'll see. It just takes time. But what we did not do is go out there and buy all of the coins. When we dropped it, we didn't immediately buy everything that we minted, right? And then drip that out. across multiple, multiple wallets. We didn't do that. We didn't use bots. GMB TV is still out there. Just humming along, crawling, not doing anything, stagnant, just chilling. Yeah. Eventually we'll resurrect it. Not even resurrect it. Eventually we'll tie it to what we want to tie it to. And then off to the races. But I'm not going to use bots to popularize a coin and then have that tied to me when the coin then doesn't do anything because it doesn't have a real use case. We have real use cases, tied to our coin. Which means that we'll have to pop this one up, prop it up, and then move to another platform to really leverage the coin. We've got plans. But they don't involve doing rug pulls like others. Ooh, I gotta shake my vanilla. I extract vanilla at home, so I have enough, and I got 2 big bottles. I have to agitate them so I can get it all. Sup with Solana and Cantor Fitzgerald. Galaxy Digital, Jump Trading, and Multicoin Capital plan a $1 billion Solana token to boost liquidity alongside proposed Apple and Alpenglow upgrade to reduce block finality and everything else like that. I think Cantor is involved in that somehow, some way. Oh, you think you're going to see him that long down the road? You're funny. Moving on. Moving on. Bitmain's $8 billion Ethereum treasury, 1.71 million ETH, 1.5% of supply. That alone makes me pay attention to ETH. That alone makes me pay attention to ETH. Forget about everything else. But that right there, I sit there and I go, ooh, yeah, we shall pay attention. We shall absolutely pay attention. That's why I keep saying it's the infrastructure moves that make me look at things. It's the long games that these institutions are playing that make me pay attention. They're not doing short runs. They're doing the long game. Something to pay attention to. I might not be able to do what they're doing, but I might be able to take advantage at a lower level or with an offshoot, a pin play. Now you know why I pay attention. Also, that's how I learn. That's how I learn. Babo, seriously, you still have me cracking up over that. It's funny. It's funny. It's a funny statement. It's a funny question. I'm not laughing at you, but you get it. I know you get it. It's funny as hell. The crypto market lost $1.43 billion in record outflows, driven by Fed policy uncertainty, with Bitcoin losing $1 billion and Ethereum seeing $440 million in losses despite $2.5 billion in monthly inflows. Again, I sit here and I just go, I'm not worried. Overzealousness. People are overzealous, overselling, overbuying. Pick your poison on ups and downs in the market. I just look to see, are there any other downsides? Are there any other downsides? The further it pulls back, the higher we go. I don't know. I don't want it to pull. It's not the amount that it pulls back. It's how long that it pulls back that I'm always concerned with. Because the longer it goes, I have a higher chance of getting bad news versus good news that will propel it down again. That's what I pay attention to. Sorry to say. So yeah, what you're saying is correct, but it's, for me, like I said, it's not the length of time. I think there's a mosquito trying to get at me right now. So yeah, pay attention to what's going on around, right? What are these large companies doing? What are these large institutions doing? Where are they doing it? How are they doing it? Then you'll figure out the why, right? You need all the answers. Then you'll figure out the why. Then you'll probably figure out also, where do I see how I can make money? Do you think, Bitmine immersion is going to let Ethereum fall, or that Tom Lee believes it's going to fall? I don't think that man believes that Ethereum is going to fall. I think he believes that Ethereum is the future, and he's not wrong. It's not the only one that's tied to the future, but it's a big one. My man D Mac invested himself today. What's good? What's good? What's good? Again, tonight's question. I'm like, we got 13 people on here. I only see 9 votes. We've had 15 people, 16 people. I'm only seeing 9 votes. Who just outpaced Robinhood's trading volume for the 3rd straight month? MEXC, OKX, Gemini, or other? And if it's other, drop it in the comments. Just saying. Just saying. Do it. Do it! So many people are saying the altcoin season is about to start, and then the market suddenly backs down. Interesting. You've never heard me say it, have you? Nope. That's not how I talk. That's not how I talk. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's what I tell you. Create your risk framework so you can weigh what's going on against how you actually want to move. One of the biggest reasons, you ever think about starting a business and they tell you have to do a business plan? You want to know who the business plan is for? It's not for anybody other than you, so that you understand the business. What is a risk framework for? It's not for anybody other than you, so that you actually understand how you want to invest or not invest. A lot of people say this, and they're not lying. They think that it's actually, they do this. But when they really evaluate and start building out that risk framework, they realize, oh yeah, I don't really do that. I talk like I do that, but I don't really do that. I might get to the same point, but that's not how I get there. I get there by doing, see? Kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. You want to know of another big deal? JP Morgan settled a $330 million claim with Malaysia over the 1MDB scandal. Okay? It's a big time scandal. It's been out there for 10 years. They dragged it out for 10 years, where it was alleged that JP Morgan made it easy for people to snatch money, snatch sovereign funds from Malaysia. Okay? $800 million worth. $800 million worth. And they're paying a $330 million fine for $800 million 10 years ago. See where I'm going with this? They're going to look at that as a cost of doing business. To me, and hello 8 Pause, thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself. To me, when you do something wrong, right, you steal $10,000. But you only have to pay back $5,000 as the penalty. Cost of doing business, right? Because you still walked away with $5,000. How does that sound right to you? Nah. And that's not what would happen to the little person, but it happens to corporations all the time. They get caught for something. All right, look at it like this. Here's a real world one. Not going to use any bank names, but there are banks. Notice I said plural. There are banks out there that have, rulings against them with regard to data. They have to pay a fine and they have to fix their data problems, right? But the amount of money that they made off of having the data problems far exceeds the fine that they have to pay, are they actually going to fix it? Cost of doing business. What we had to pay in the fine was only a percentage of what we made. Not worrying, moving on. Yeah. We'll pay them some lip service. We'll rally the troops. There are banks out there that have chronic problems. They don't have chronic problems. They've got a business model, a revenue stream. Because, if the bank gets caught, the bank has to pay the fine. And the bank usually only pays a fine, almost always, read as always less than what we made. We'll show that we're fixing things. And they keep doing what they're doing. They just keep paying the fines because it's only a percentage. Think about it. I'll pay the fine because to really fix this, it's going to cost me a stupid amount of money. And I'm making money from this problem. Skip that. I'll pay that tiny ass little fine. Excuse my language. I'll pay that tiny little fine. Easy. Boom. Done. Moving on. Next. There are several banks out there, foreign and domestic, that have broken AML rules, anti-money laundering, KYC, know your customer, handle data poorly, all that stuff. There's a bank out there that's doing time, paying a fine for that. And guess what? Cost of doing business because they made more money than they have to pay. You think they're going to fix that? Would you? Suppose you only made 10%. You had to pay back 90%. You still made 10%. Revenue stream. How do they look at it? Revenue stream. What happens? Everybody gets a bonus. Oh, and the people that didn't do a good job with that data, well, they're going to lose their jobs. Who creates the revenue streams? At what level are those revenue streams created? Here or here? See how that works? No care for the little person. They got to put food on their table. They can't necessarily afford eggs because they're going to the corner store buying Lucy eggs, one at a time. Those are scenarios that we're messing with right now. That's what we're dealing with. Doesn't sound good, does it? Does not sound good. So yeah. I pay attention to this stuff and I sit there and I just kind of go, yeah. Not really feeling banks. $330 million of today money for something that was $800 million in 10 years ago money. That's ridiculous. Lieutenant, I know you're cracking a joke, but that's not funny to a lot of people. But I'm looking at that and I'm just going, yeah, JP Morgan, yeah, we need to have better banking laws. We need to have better penalties. Corporations, when they get caught doing something wrong, okay, you're not going to send those executives to jail. Then the company as the entity should have to pay more. Like, it should be painful. In other countries, that's exactly what they do. You don't just pay the amount of money that was involved. You pay a percentage above that. They want you to feel the pain so you don't do it again, because that's the whole point of it. Feel the pain so you don't have to deal with it, so you won't do it anymore. And whoever you wronged can be made whole. They smell. Or you don't know how to cook them, but they smell. Rotten eggs. Eggs do go rotten, and they smell. Smell like burnt sulfur. like FOTS. Dead serious. Dead serious. So yeah, when you look at everything that's going on, there's a lot of news that's out there. BlackRock advising that, you know, institutions get more involved with venture capital firms. I'm sorry, with hedge funds. I want to know, okay, you want me to get involved with hedge funds? What hedge funds are about to pick up some money because of that recommendation? See? What hedge funds are about to pick up money from that? And then you can't afford to get in on the hedge fund. Where does that hedge fund normally spend its money? Maybe you can get in on that. That's what I'm thinking about. Captain Banana, welcome back and thank you. What the heck? Thank you. Thank you so much. And I can't put a heart on it. Here, I'll do this. Got to call out Captain Banana. Haven't seen her in a minute, but she's slick. She'll be listening, but sometimes doesn't want to say anything because, you know, she's having that fight. Are you still fighting with Siri? Are you still fighting with Siri? I need to know. I need to know. Because if I could have knocked Siri out the other day, simple freaking question I asked her. I never use Siri, but my hands were full and I could get to the button and I was like, let me ask this quick question. I don't think Siri likes anybody. And it was a simple question. I was trying to find a stock price. I forgot which stock it was. I was trying to find a stock price. Oh, by the way, Elliot has started making videos. I'm not allowed to put them up yet, but Elliot has started making videos on charting. And I don't mean like charting like he's just teaching a class on charting. I mean like he's charting, actually analyzing a stock that he wants to get involved in. He's trying to make a decision. So he's actively, he's taking you on the journey. That's like mad cool. Mad cool. So you gotta, you know, I don't think people understand when you start shooting videos, when you start creating content, especially in this space, anything talking about, you know, investing, anything else like that, you've got to find your groove. Like where you feel comfortable speaking. It's a big deal. A very big deal. Don't worry, I'll get permission at some point to share his videos, share his links and stuff like that. But that's what I want to do. Stocks have incoming disruption with AI. Incoming, what do you mean by that? I've got like 3 or 4 thoughts. I just want to know where you're coming off with that so I can speak to that before I go off on another tangent or something like that. Incoming disruptions with AI. I think I've said this before. You want to know who has incoming disruption with AI in the financial space? Financial advisors. AI will change the valuation based on how they use or not use AI. There was a study that I mentioned the other day by MIT that says out of the 300 companies that they interviewed, 95% of them said that their AI pilot programs are failing. Right? Babo, I'll get to you in a moment. Remember, it's a study. You do a study and then that sometimes leads into deeper research because it was only a sample pool of 300 companies. We don't know the size of the companies or anything else like that, but they were just like, let's do a quick study. Who's doing this stuff? I'm pretty sure they probably had different size companies in there and stuff like that. But, you know, there's a paper out there. But it's only a study. It only scratches the surface. That said, yeah, companies are going to start being evaluated by how well are you leveraging AI? The next criteria, how well are you securing your company against AI? By the way, how are you using AI? we're dealing with companies where we're literally teaching them, hey, that right, no, don't ever do that again. Right? So just to give you a hint, Everybody's on a social media platform. All these social media platforms, how do they make money? They make money by snatching all your data, putting it all together, and packaging it, and giving access to it, shoving ads and stuff in front of your face and all that good stuff. By the way, did you know that we don't have ads, or very few ads on our platform? Right now, we have none. And our plan is to keep it very small, like very small. Why? It's pay to play. If you want to, go to Grow My Bag and read the approaching 12,000 articles and videos that we have on there, we're not doing it for free. We're trying to keep the nut jobs out. We're trying to keep the bots out. You got to pay. But these other companies, they don't charge you. Your charge is your data. Your user sovereignty is the fee. So my point is that there's always a data grab. Now think about this. You give them your data, name a platform, whatever platform, you're giving them your data, and they say, oh, we're not going to use your data. We're not going to let anybody use that data. And you find out a few years later, they've been letting everybody and their mama use your data. What's been the penalty? What has been the penalty? Yeah, I heard crickets. I mean, literally, I'm hearing crickets outside the window. I have the window open. But literally, crickets, no penalties. They pimped out your data, and there's nothing you can do about it. A class action? Good luck with that. Even if you won, you want to know who gets the most money out of that class action? The lawyers. That's who gets all the money. First, they snatch their fees out, and then they get a portion of it. I think it's 1/3 on a class action or something like that. Yup. There are law firms that specialize in nothing but class actions. So nothing happens. So as a company, you want me to use your cloud-based service and believe that you've got my data segmented out over here on these servers. Pardon me if I don't believe you. Pardon me if I don't believe you. Now, here's the kicker. There's AI that you can run locally that will give you just as good feedback, input, all that results than the big boys. And I brought it up a little while earlier. I believe it was this morning. I was tired. I was yawning a lot. And I said, with all the power, with all the resources that data centers take up, if everybody was running local AI, what would be the difference? I want you to pause and think about this. All the AI that's out there right now, it's already learned off of everything that man could have possibly have done, right? It's read all the encyclopedias, all that good stuff. It's done. So now it's also entering in what you're searching for, what she's searching for, what this company did, what that company did. See what I'm saying? And then it's starting to also train off its own output. I don't think I want that. I also don't think I want to take the chance of somebody using my data being leaked by mistake out there, but you had it segmented. That's not what's supposed to happen. But why am I giving you my data? For OpenAI, yeah, I'm not using ChatGPT ever. Because of their lawsuit with the New York Times, a judge has said you're not allowed to delete Jack. So when you look at them, what you're really looking at is they have a penalty. Please, pause, share with me what the penalty is. I work with a lot of those companies. Please tell me what the penalty is. I'm not trying to be funny. Because from my side, there's no penalty. From my side, there's no penalty whatsoever. Oh, they'll lose users. Pfft, that doesn't happen. They grow. But my data is out there, supposed to be segmented, and somebody got out there with that data. How much am I going to charge them? How do I calculate that? You expose my data to the public. It was out there for how long? I'm a company. And am I a big enough company to go to war? That's a tough one. That right there is a tough one. I don't know. I don't know. Most companies are not big enough to fight that war. But if you're big enough to be leveraging AI, to be doing a whole bunch of stuff, you should be smart enough to also hire somebody like my company to come in and help you run it locally so that all of your stuff is safe and protected. You can run the bigger models, but they don't have to be the live open to the world models. And for some of the solutions that you're building, you know you can't even swap models, which is what they do all the time, which is why things break. Oh, I have a perfect situation right here. And then it breaks. Because in the background, they upgraded something, tweaked an algorithm or something like that, and now your output is different than what you were expecting. And now you've got to rethink and recalibrate against this new air, and then it keeps going. Then it keeps going. And you're kind of like, what happened? But yeah, Hutanik's right. They're going to start measuring companies against how well they leverage AI and automation. It's AI and automation. Don't leave out automation. Which when you put them together, it's really business process optimization and evolution when you put it all together. Oh, it was a sarcastic question. Woman, I can't see your face. I can't hear your tone. I mean, now that you said that, I can actually see your face and hear your tone. It's actually kind of funny. But yeah, there's no penalty. Meta got caught out there big time. There was zero penalty. Goose egg of a penalty. Nothing. And so I tell people all the time, if you're going to be using OpenAI, use it at your own risk, because they will tell you, they have told you, they are continuing to tell you, well, if we get called in a court of law, we got to hand it over. Because you only request things to be deleted. You request. When you ask somebody something, that means they have the opportunity to go, nah, I don't feel like it. And there you have it. You requested your stuff to be deleted. They can't. Court order. They can't. Mind you, there are a whole bunch of things that are going on with SQL, and I don't think with LLMs, large language models, I don't think companies are really thinking about. It's not just us how we leverage, but it's also how we secure against, how we gird against. Wow. Big problem right there. Big problem. And remember what I said about financial advisors? Here's an idea for you. So you can actually create an agent that is constantly being trained with financial information. Maybe you only feed it the information from all of the wins and none of the losses. And it can start to pick out those trends, why they were wins. Then you feed it all the losses, and you can pick out why those were all losses. And thusly, you have your own financial advisor that's probably better than anybody that you could talk to. Want to break down a stock? Give it the stock and boop, there's your information about the stock. Want to break down a crypto? Boop, you can break it down. Are you going to be able to do it as robustly as, let's say my team can? Maybe. We're also doing it on a different scale. We're also looking at different things and how we're going to be doing it. Hence, going back to my original point, your risk framework. Your risk framework. We're building something to try to understand and give leeway to everybody's risk framework so that you can mold it to what you want it to be. So it'll react to you and react to me differently. Companies will communicate AI to AI. What do you mean will? What do you mean will? Did you know that the internet as we know it is slowly going away? The idea of seeing something on a screen is slowly going away. Why is that? Well, because my agent is going to go get the information and then tell me what it is. Think Jarvis from Iron Man. Think Jarvis. Funny, right? Jarvis will be able to walk with you around your house. I mean, the other ones do, don't they? You tell the A word, from Amazon to do whatever. Turn on the lights, do this, do that. But Jarvis can take things a step further. Jarvis can actually follow you around the house. Hear you, kind of. Right? You can actually set up those sensors. One of my guys, he has the sensors set up all around his house. In other words, his house is aware, in a way, of where they are. You were in the bathroom. Nobody's in the bathroom anymore. Lights get turned off. If the water's still running, the water turns off. You want me to prepare your bath? See where I'm going? All those things can be built into your house, and you'll be sitting there going, damn, I want that. Exactly. Knowing your temperature, all that good stuff. The internet is changing because of exactly that. AI agent talking to AI agent. And then going back to whoever made the request and saying, hey, here's the information you're looking for. Do you want me to print it on the printer for you, or do you want me to read it to you? I gave you a good voice, so read it to me. It'll be like you're having a conversation with somebody. Who was at the front door? Oh, that was Amazon. They dropped off that package you were looking for. I can see this. I can scan it and I can see that it's actually the package that you ordered on Friday that was supposed to get here yesterday, but got here today. I'll talk to Amazon and see if I can get you a discount on that, since they said we were supposed to get it yesterday and they should give you a discount. I'll just go do that for you. Sounds really out there, but we're really not. Agents don't do what people say they do right now, but we're also not that far away from it. I mean, we're a distance, don't get me wrong, but we're not that far away from it. If I want certain things to happen under certain circumstances, I can build out those parameters, and then it'll do kind of what I want it to do. But having AI think on its own, make reservations for you, order food for you, do this, do that, it's not there to be able to do thought for you. AI is not going to take your job. The person that knows how to leverage AI is going to take your job. The person that knows how to do business process optimization and evolution, that's what's going to take your job. Just saying. When email came out, there were a lot less mailroom people working, huh? Just saying. We will be having a great conversation and realize it's a robot that listens. Possible. I want that too, as long as it's not connected to the internet. Yeah, you could actually build that out. You can actually build certain systems out. Control the lights, control certain things about where your space is and how you want to maneuver and live in your space. You can do that. You could have it listen to you and only do certain things. That's right. You can do that. It can also be that AI isn't connected to the internet, but the search stuff is. Right? So it talks to search. Search comes back and says blah, blah, blah. There are different things that you can do to make your house or make your assistant smarter. If you're Becton Dickinson or a large corporation that does tens of thousands of legal documents, you could feed those legal documents into AI. AI can tell you what is common for each municipality that you're dealing with, which is Becton Dickinson's big problem. And it's good at doing certain things, translating. Like right now, I'm thinking about, we've got all these articles online, right? Forget about the videos, but all the articles, all the typed out articles. I'm thinking about making it so that, you could just click a button and it'll translate that article to whatever language you want. And it'll only take, 5 seconds to put it in Spanish. Translate right there on the page. Instead of having a separate site in Spanish, it'll just bink. You set a preference and it'll just be in Spanish, Italian, Afrikaans, just whatever language that we think it can do a good job at. Is it going to be perfect? No. And everybody will know, hey, this is being translated by AI. And most people will be happy to use that platform. Why? Just the thought that you thought about, translating this. I'll get the gist. It's not going to be perfect, but I'll get the gist. Thank you for that. Now you know why we're thinking about doing it. Probably start with Spanish and French. Chinese, maybe. Difficult. Very difficult. But maybe. You never know. But you still have to have human in the middle and all that other good stuff. So when I look at companies that are out there leveraging AI, you know what, Hutanek? I think I'm already judging companies by how they use or misuse AI. Or get used by AI. Yeah. Because there are a lot of companies out there that are using cloud-based services, but they weren't smart enough to call up and be like, hey, we want one of those enterprise deals where you at the very least segment our data. Yeah. Companies aren't thinking like that. Or they're even worse. They go out and buy a car, don't know how to set it up, and they're still sending out their data to the internet. Kind of, sort of. It's only tough to turn a ship because people don't want to turn it. But if the big boss said, we're going to do this, the troops are going to follow. The troops are going to follow. What AI should we be using? I can't believe that there are companies out there that restrict themselves to only OpenAI. They're not doing Cursor or what's the other one with the A? I forgot the name of it because I don't use it. But you have all the Grok, Gemini. You have all these ones that are out there. All these LLMs that are out there. But you're only using that one. Only using that one. And they just dropped a brand new model that was not up to par compared to the other models. If in this game, if you're going to come out with a new model, it should immediately come out as number one. It beats everybody else. Because that's how that works. You come out and you're at the top for a little while, then somebody else comes out there at the top, and it just keeps going. But you came out with something that wasn't first, wasn't second, maybe third, arguably. And then the local models that you dropped were 2 versions ago. You're on 5, that one is 3. But you made it sound like it was 5 until you admitted, yeah, it's really comparable to 3. The hell am I going to use that for? It's garbage. So you're going to give everybody access to the one a couple of models ago, and DeepSeek and Qwen 3 are already kicking in your teeth right here. Brilliant move there, buddy. But you're going to keep trusting their technology? Are you kidding me? So yeah, you're right. I am going to judge companies based on how well they leverage AI, how they secure themselves against AI. It's another security problem. It really is. It adds a whole new dimension to corporate security. Ta-da. There's a lot of money that goes into that. A lot of money. Anyway, tonight's question. Who just outpaced Robinhood's trading volume for the third straight month? MEXC, OKX, Gemini, other. Gemini got 58%. It's none of the above. Hyperliquid. For the third straight month. Hyperliquid. How's that for nuts? Why did you abstain? But yeah, imagine. Hyperliquid. I kept telling people, Hyperliquid's about to do some damage to people. And we're literally sitting here watching Hyperliquid start to eat Robinhood's lunch. Excuse me. So yeah, that's interesting. Not bad. 12 votes. Not bad. Not bad at all. So imagine. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor. Drop a like, because that's how we grow. Just made 20,000. I'm thinking we can do 25 real soon. If we can do 25, I might have to up our goal from 25,000 at the end of the year to 30. You think we can do it? You think we can do it? I think we can do it if everybody smashes the likes and tells their friends about us. Everybody, have a great night. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.